Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review. It was Monday night. Monday, June 23rd, 2014. Of course, it was episode 1100. Michael Cornett, 1100. Well, you can pronounce it any way you want it. 1100, 1100, whatever. It's the same number. Of course, it was a go home show before Money in the Bank. A lot happened for Money in the Bank. We added some matches. We added it's official now, as you see by our subtitle. We have the contract match also happening besides the title ladder match. We also added an eighth man. There's an eighth man in the title match. But let's get on to the other subtitle. We said goodbye to, in my mind, one of the biggest heels when it comes to getting big heat in recent WWE history. When you think of which heel has gotten the most heat in recent years, it's not been Paul Heyman. It's not been Michael Cole. It's not even been Cesaro, except Cole or even Rusev. The heel that's gotten the most amount of heat has been Vickie Guerrero. All she needed to do was to get on that stage and just say, "Excuse me," and the entire crowd would just boo out the fucking building. And tonight, we said our goodbyes to Vickie Guerrero. Now, it's been rumored that she was going to leave right after WrestleMania. The rumors flying that she was going to leave after Mania. But she stayed on a few extra months for her to get fired this evening over a little incident last week involving her apparently getting Stephanie sick and making her puking on Vicky. They kind of hinted towards Vicky possibly being fired last week. And that's how we began Raw, with Stephanie coming out, talking about, Vicky being negligent and all that shit. So she had Vicky come out basically begging for her job, but instead of begging, she made Vicky fight for it by putting her in a match against Stephanie. And I was like, there's something screwy gonna happen here. It kind of did. Vicky came out. Now, I like the way WWE did this, though. At least it made Vicky go out getting cheered. They found a way to make her get the fans to have sympathy for her. Because in my mind, they hate the Authority as much as they hated Vickie Guerrero. At least they had Vickie Guerrero go out in style the way she did, to have the fans finally cheer for her after years of them booing her and coming out to Eddie's theme song, Light, Cheat, and Steal. But at least she had the last laugh, despite the fact that she was put in a screwy situation with Stephanie not really fighting Vicky, by having her troops. Rosa, I'm surprised she didn't get released. And Alicia Fox and Layla coming out trying to put Vicky in looked like a gravy bowl, but it ended up being a bowl of maybe puke because of payback after what happened last week. This is, of course, later on doing Raw. But I decided to get out of the way now since I have Vicky getting fired as a subtitle. So they tried to drag Vicky in this pile of puke, apparently, and the object was to put your opponent in it and have Vicky in it to get fired. But Vicky wouldn't go quietly. She put all three of the henchmen of Miss McMahon's all in the bowl of puke or whatever it was. First putting Rosa in it, then Layla, then the other one, Alicia Fox. And then Vicky was celebrating, and I kind of saw this coming. Vicky would get pushed in by Stephanie into that bowl. But like I said, Vicky, despite getting fired tonight, she did leave with her head held high as Stephanie went through the group as well. And that was great to see. And no matter how much, if you really loved or you really hated Vicky, you had nothing to do but respect for her to stay in the WWE, stay loyal to WWE, despite what happened to her husband, Eddie Guerrero. She had to put food on the table, and at least WWE gave her a job. They kind of felt sympathetic towards her, and she's been loyal to WWE for 9 great years as a great heel on SmackDown. Probably one of the best heels, not just heel GMs, but probably one of the best heels, period, in most recent years. Because, like I said, there's going to be, I hate to say it, I'm going to miss Vicky, because no one's going to get that amount of heat again. No heel's going to get the amount of heat that Vicky get. No one's going to go out again, and all they had to do was to say 2 words and just get the crowd to just boo your ass. It's me. We make fun of all we want. But we had to respect Vicky for what she's done when it comes to being a monster heel, despite the fact she was a GM. But like I said, she got a lot of heat. So, thank you, Vicky. We shall miss you. You were annoying, but you were entertaining. Let's say that much. Vickie Guerrero was entertaining. Now let's get on to the West of Raw. Starting off with our first matchup involving the Usos and the Wyatts. Of course, these two will face off for the WWE Tag Team titles at the pay-per-view this Sunday. But tonight, it was about one-on-one action as the Usos and Wyatts would go one-on-one in individual matches. First things first, we would have Jimmy taking on Hopper. Now, I've been saying this for the last couple weeks. I've been applauding the Wyatts more for the wrestling. I've been, like, when they first came in, they were just brawlers. I think they've gotten better. The feud with the Shield and Wyatt, I think they made both teams look good. Both teams have benefited after that feud ended. And I said it a few weeks ago that Harper's my new favorite member of the Wyatts besides Bray. Because Harper's a decent brawler. He's got great agility, great ability. Better than I thought he was. And I think JBL said it best on commentary. Make fun of commentary a lot, but at least JBL spoke my words eloquently. That his ability surprises people. I agree. Harper has surprised me in the last few months by his ability in the ring and his speaking ability. I think he's the best speaking Wyatt besides Bray. He's delivered some great promos. You know, he could take over one day as the new leader. Well, who knows? Bray's been a great leader. And Luke and Harper and Warren's been great followers. And as Harper was in control, of course, the Uso, it was a decent matchup for what it was, with some gooiness, with Jay and Warren getting it on outside the ring, and the outside shenanigans kind of helped Harper nail a big clothesline on Jimmy in the 1-2-3 victory for Harper. But then, it wasn't over yet. Jay wanted a piece of the action by basically saying, Harper, you distracted my partner, actually Warren distracted my partner, and I want you to get your stinky ass in the ring so I can kick it. It's kind of funny to say stinky ass, because stink face was their father Rikishi's finishing move. That was kind of funny. First of many burns tonight. A lot of burning tonight. For being TVP, yeah, they know he's trying to be attitude without being offensive. Well, kind of. Anyway, after we saw Harper and Jimmy, we would see Jay against Warren. And Warren looked very tough. I think Harper's better than Warren. But I think as a team, they do well. They've looked well as a tag team. Hello, they defeated the Usos in non-title, which gave them this tag team title match in the Mind Break pay-per-view to begin with. I thought they were going to get a payback. But at least they're getting their shot. And we're going to be weird to see the Harper and Warren win the tag titles and then see Bray win the WWE title. I don't think that would happen. But hey, if the Shield can win all the titles in one night with the one night at Extreme Rules 2013 when Ambrose won the U.S. title and Reigns and Rollins won the tag team titles the same night. That could be the same thing with the Wyatts, but anyway. But Jay got the revenge after Harper defeating Jimmy. Jay made it an even kind of match, even kind of series involving these individual matches with Jay, with another outside shenanigans involving Jimmy and Harper. Get a big super kick in on Warren, setting up these big frog splash and making it a rubber match 1-1 with the settling this Sunday. Even though the Usos won the battle, the second battle, I think the Wyatts won the war tonight. As after the match, they just beat the crap out of Usos outside the ring, despite some big flying moves from the Usos in the post-match attack. But the Usos will be left laying after vicious moves outside the ring, including another clothesline from Harper. And we would see them grabbing the tag team titles, holding them in their hands. Speaking of their hands, I like the new theme for the Harper and Warren. Like they came out to like some creepy harpsichord version of he's got do-do-do-do-do-do. You know, he's got the whole world in his hands. Like, I like the theme. I thought that was going to be Bray Wyatt's new theme too, but I think it's just a theme for Harper and Warren. They kind of separate themselves, having their own theme. Because, you know, Bray Wyatt's got his theme. So I think the Harper and Warren need their own individual theme, and I think this is it. It's weird. I like the vibe of it, this version of he's got the whole in his hands for that theme. And that could be the image this Sunday of the Harper and Warren having not just the whole world in their hands, but the World Tag Team titles in their hands. If they could defeat the Usos this Sunday. Speaking of women that could have a title in her hands, we would see Nyomi in action, taking on Alicia Fox with Paige and ringside. It was official tonight. I got a Twitter update later in the evening that Paige will defend the Divas Championship against Nyomi. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of team it is, a female tag team or a men's tag team. There's always every tag team always has that one person that steps out above the other one. It becomes a big singles competitor. Every tag team's got that one breakout star. In this equation, of course, we use the Rockers terminology here. Nyomi is the Shawn Michaels. And as we kind of plainly see tonight, and have seen recently, Cameron is nothing more than Naomi's Marty Jannetty. Seriously, she was on commentary page. Can we just put a fucking mute? I'm surprised we had all these releases lately. We had Borders Claire getting fired, and even 2 members of 3MB got fired, yet Cameron escaped the roster cut. She will be featured Devin one day. She can't wrestle for crap, and she was fucking annoying. I think they're bringing up the Funkadactyls, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? I think Cameron's been ignorant lately. I think she's stepping out to be heel, and like I said, she could pick up with Naomi. And I've always applauded Naomi's ability. Even though, yes, half the divas can't fucking wrestle for crap, I think Naomi's gotten better. And I like Naomi's new finish. Decent match against Alicia Fox, though. Fun matchup, though. And I like her new finish. A modified DDT. That was a cool finish. I like her weird view move, but that finish she did tonight on Alicia Fox, that was a cool new finisher. If it is a new finisher. But the commentary stole the show, unfortunately. Paige did her best, but Cameron just is a fucking chatterbox. And, like I said, Cameron needs to shut the... I wish there was a mute button on Cameron's headset. Seriously. But, Paige is a better wrestler than Cameron. And basically, even though I bitch about divas, and of course, compare them to knockouts, I'll say this. Anybody and everybody is a better wrestler than Cameron. And Eva Marie, who should be fired too. I've called Eva Marie the Kim Kardashian of WWE. Famous for being famous. So Naomi gets the victory, like I said. I want to see, Naomi's been taunted as the next Divas champion for a while. She might have gotten a one-on-one match at Mania if she didn't get injured by Oksana. Maybe that's why Oksana got released. Anyway, we will see Naomi take on Paige this Sunday, but I think the breakup of the Funkadactyls may happen. I think Cameron's going to screw Naomi in this matchup, which could officially signal the breakup of the Funkadactyls. But I think the breakup's happening. Speaking of people who are not really benefiting from a team breaking up and him going solo, Titus O'Neil, of course, former member of the Primetime Players, one of my favorite tag teams, besides Primetime, who are getting back together now in the Indies without the Y, because they don't want to get sued with WWE, of course, since JTT finally got released after not being used a lot. So we have Titus taking on Bo Dallas. I've been saying every week. Bray Wyatt, we're like brother. And he sounds like Bray Wyatt when he talks. And it's basically a squash. Let's say Titus wasn't a Bo either. He needs to Bo leave. I'm starting to like Bo Dallas' gimmick almost. He's kind of annoying, but he's entertaining. He's like Vicky Guerrero. He's annoying, but entertaining. People have their opinion on Bo Dallas. They like him running around like a fool. Once again, dealing that running bulldog, as he likes to call it. He likes to do everything Bo. He puts Bo in front of everything. Bo leave. Bo dance. Bo-mance. He has a Bo-mance with himself. And he's 9 and Bo, as he likes to say. At least he's not in the ladder match. Any ladder match in MITB. Speaking of MITB matches, especially ladder matches, we've known for a while that we're going to have a Money in the Bank ladder match for the title. We were wondering, if they're going to have a title match in the ladder match, are they still going to have the traditional Money in the Bank ladder match for the contract? That was a resounding yes. And the Seth Rollins kind of hinted towards it on main event last week. And Triple H made it official tonight that there will be a second ladder match for the traditional contract. which could bring lots of possible scenarios. It could be a screwy thing that the Money in the Bank ladder match winner of the briefcase could basically cash in on the same night on the winner of the title match ladder match. That could possibly happen. And one other time that's happened, that I think Kane's the only guy to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase the same night he won it. He's the only guy that's done it. If memory serves me correct. But I thought the participants for the ladder match would have to qualify for the contract match, but they didn't. It was 6 men at the time. And basically you had some losers of the individual qualifying matches. You had Bad News Barrett, Dolph Ziggler. Yes, he's in a fucking match. Yay, he's getting in the contract match. Alongside him, another former Money in the Bank winner, Rob Van Dam. We would also have Kofi Kingston, another former Money in the Bank winner, Jack Swagger, and Seth Rollins, who's already qualified to be in it because he named himself it. And RVD would come out. I love the burn that RVD, because Triple H kind of like, RVD, yeah, all that. He kind of neglected RVD, and RVD came out after Triple H kind of endorsed Seth Rollins. Duh. So RVD would come out, and then Seth Rollins, I like these little slabs at each other. Like I said, a lot of buns tonight. Because Seth Rollins came out saying after RVD interrupted, he's like, hey RVD, I'm more relevant than you were in 2005 or something like that. And RVD came back with, well, back in 2005, you were begging your mom to stay up and watch me. I love RVD's comeback, and that was kind of fun. And that led to an impromptu matchup. Rob Van Dam against Seth Rollins. Now, I love both these. I've been applauding Rollins for a while now. He looked very good again against RVD. RVD, he's old as heck. He's very open. He can still wrestle good. He can still be a high-flying fool. And I do mean high. We're in Washington after all. Not Washington State. But Washington does legalize weed. As we all know. Anyway, these guys had a great matchup here. A fun matchup. And I was like, wait a minute. The Money in the Bank contract match only has 6 guys. The ladder match at the time, until the main event tonight, because we told you there was an 8th guy that was added. Before the main event, there was 7 in the title match for the ladder match. Are they going to add a 7th guy? Cue the Dean Ambrose interference at the end of the Rollins RVD match. So RVD did well with the Rolling Thunder. He was trying to nail 5-star at least once or twice, but then Rollins knocked out of it. And as Rollins got the stomp on RVD, I saw everyone's heads turning. I was like, it's going to be Ambrose. And bam, here comes Ambrose, beating the crap out of Rollins. And they brawled again like they did last week with referees drawing him back. And I was like, when I heard Rollins was going to be in the match, the ladder match, I was like, Ambrose has to be in it. I was surprised he wasn't named by Triple H at the time. And then, Ambrose, like I said, he came in during this matchup, and he's like, I don't care what I have to do to get in this matchup. I'll even crash and ruin the damn pay-per-view. I'm going to be there Sunday no matter what. So to get Ambrose in the match, Rollins was like, I don't want Ambrose to sneak in and ruin my opportunity. He needs to be in the match so I can watch him at all times so he can watch me become the holder of the briefcase. So it's official. It's 7 men at the Money in the Bank contract match, the traditional Money in the Bank contract match involving Rollins, Ambrose, RVD. We would see those 3, like I said, we would see the other 4 matches later on. And the first of the matches involving the other 4 participants of the Money in the Bank contract match, probably the best match of all tonight, was for the Intercontinental Championship involving Bad News Barrett and Dolph Ziggler. Now, when these guys were announced for the night, I was like, man, this should be a good matchup. And it was. Oh my God, this is a great matchup between both these guys. I've been fans of both these guys. And these guys and they gave them the right amount of time. I love WWE for giving them all the time in the world. It was a long matchup. They deserved the time. They gave them the time, and they did the best they could. And it was a great, fun matchup. Very back and forth action. Great near fall action. They did all their big finishers. Great up in the air spot off the top. I think an off the top world famouser from Ziggy. And of course, B&B doing all of his big moves with the Winds of Change, Wasteland, and of course, he was trying to set up for that big bullhammer elbow. And it was just a fun matchup between both these great guys for the title. And not only that, they're in the contract match this Sunday. And after Ziggy tried, he did try his best to get the pin, but every time he would never capitalize because he was too beaten up. Because these guys were just beat by the end of the match, because they fought for a long time. But after Ziggy nailed the Famouser again, or at least nailed the Famouser, and went for a near fall again, he was trying to one at Barrett in the turnbuckle, but then in midair as Ziggy was going for the big splash on Barrett in the turnbuckle in the corner, bam! Here comes the bullhammer elbow pin 1, 2, 3 for B&B retaining their championship match. Retain the title. I would love to have seen Dolph retain the IC championship. He is a former IC champion. Especially, I've been wanting them to push Ziggler again, despite reports are saying that they're holding Ziggler back because he's injury prone. But still, that was a fun matchup between both these guys. Well, I'd love to have seen Ziggler win, but I was happy with the result no matter what. You know what I mean? With Ziggy losing and B&B winning. And like I said, not only would we see those two, we would see the other two participants in the ladder match for the contract this Sunday. It was Kofi Kingston taking on Jack Swagger. Now, I love Kofi. He needs a turn here. It could help out big time to finally get him out of mid-card. But once again, I think Kofi's still going to deliver some great spots. He always delivers in these big-time ladder matches. He's had some great, memorable highlights in the ladder matches. Even though he may not win the ladder matches Sunday, I still think he's going to still pull off some great, memorable spots this Sunday in the ladder match. He has some decent action in this match, too, against Swaggy. But, of course, Swaggy would indeed make Kofi start a tapping. As he would make Kofi, despite Kofi trying to fight out of the ankle lock to Patriot lock, he had no other choice but to tap out of that Patriot lock. And Swagger looks like he may end up winning the contract match. In my opinion, I think Seth Rollins is going to win the contract match. He's getting the big push. And I think Seth's going to be the guy to get the contract. As much as I would love to see Ziggy win the contract again, I think Seth's going to win the contract. Big time. I wish another guy was in it. But instead, he still turned to a joke. Damien Sandow. Now, I think this might be a racist segment. But hey, they're trying to go attitude again. So, this PC day, you had Damien Sandow come out as Abe Lincoln. I'll give Sandow credit for going along with this fucking bullshit about being dressed up every week as a different character. So he dressed up like Abraham Lincoln, and he took out Biggie Langston, an African American. Now, Biggie, of course, like an African American, taking on a guy dressed up like Abe Lincoln who signed the Emancipation Proclamation. You know, to free the slaves. You know, and Biggie just squashed him like a bug again. And with the Abe Lincoln hat and all that shit, he had the beard going. He didn't need a fake beard, but at least he had the beard going. And then the other big racist thing was the fact that Biggie, in this whole situation with him taking on Sandow like Abe Lincoln, he was interviewed later by an interviewer named Tom. I think that was intentional. Uncle Tom. Anyway, and then probably one of my favorite parts of this segment was Biggie's speech. He sounded like a fucking preacher. Like, this is the home of the brave. I believe in Jesus Christ. You know, that was funny. That could be a gimmick that'd be a new gimmick for Big E. If you ever get a new gimmick one day, you'd be a great minister character because of the way he was speaking. Like, this is the home of the brave. You know, this is America. Of course, continuing his feud with Rusev, who burned Obama again tonight by arriving in the nation's capital, and ambushing Biggie from behind after that combatant speech. But Biggie's not the first guy to talk like a preacher. I think Coco Beware did some promos like that too, in that kind of phrasing, you know. So that was kind of funny and almost kind of racist with the fact that you had an African American taking a guy dressed up like Abraham Lincoln, and then have a guy interview you later named Tom. You know, a lot of 1800s references. Way to stay relevant, WWE, by making references that are 200 years old. Nice. Little history lesson, though. Who says wrestling isn't educational? Anyway, after that little preamble, we will go on to our main event. A 4-on-3 handicap match involving, at the time, the 7 participants in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the title. We would have the heels. I think the heels were like really much egotistical, especially another Bun, as we would see Alberto Del Rio confront one of his acting partners, Cesaro. And Cesaro's like, I speak 5 languages, but I don't speak loser. Burn! Those two would team up with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton against Cena, Sheamus, and Roman Reigns. And this is an interesting matchup, to say the least. Of course, you had Super Cena, the man who made Sandown to a joke. In my opinion, you know, he's like I've been trying to like Cena again, but after seeing Sandown put through what he's been put through, and speaking of Sandown, before I get to the main event, I'll say this right now, WWE, as much as I hate to say this, keep on making Sandown to a joke. Keep making him go along with this, because one day, WWE, he's gonna drop a pipe bomb on you like Punk did. That's what I'm hoping that's gonna happen. He's gonna still put through all this bullshit, still making a joke out of himself, still putting. I'll give him credit for getting through it, but I bet you there's gonna be one day he'll be singing a Twisted Sister song. We're not going to take it anymore, or I'm not gonna take it. I hope he drops a pipe bomb on him. He got a threat to make a promo a few months ago, but I hope he does drops a pipe bomb, and finally gets him back into what he should have been, a future world champion. And in my mind, my prediction for the Money in the Bank ladder match for the title, ABCO, anybody but Cena or Orton. Made that ABCOO. So that's all I gotta say. I don't want Cena or Orton to be champ again. And this matchup, this 4-on-7, the 4-on-3 handicap match, it's a fun matchup with Cena getting mostly beat up, and the heels, like I said, the heels were kind of egotistical. They were blind tagging each other, while the faces were tagging each other cleanly. And then, you know, you would have Roman Reigns get the hot tag in, and I think Reigns could be my favorite to win. He's been getting a big push lately, but like I said last week, no matter who wins the title match this Sunday for the ladder match, they have to hold the button of the fact they're only champion because D-Boy is injured. D-Boy is going to be on the pre-show. Maybe the signal of the fact he could be an 8th surprise participant. But as we would see tonight, that may not and will not be the case. I knew the end was going to be chaotic, everyone doing the big finishes. And that's exactly what happened with Roman Reigns delivering the big Superman punch. It was a fun match. I hope these guys had the same match on SmackDown. I hope this match was better than the SmackDown match. It was a very fun matchup. Very good match to hype up the title match this Sunday. And the train started with Roman Reigns delivering a big Superman punch and a spear to Wyatt. Then all the big finishes happening with Cena doing FUs across the board. Then eating an uppercut from Cesaro. Then Cesaro would later eat the bro kick. And the 1-2-3 victory for Sheamus and his team after a chaotic finish and a fun finish. But Sheamus didn't have time to relish the victory, because the 8th man would be revealed. For the ladder, like I said, there's an 8th man added, and it is a man I thought would be in it. Speaking of a man who was supposed to fight D-Boy if he was able to wrestle in a stretcher match for the title. And once I heard D-Boy wasn't going to wrestle, I was like, this man should be in the ladder match. And after he didn't qualify last week against Cena in a stretcher match, he got it anyway. Of course, referring to Kane, he would state his case to be in a ladder match by basically destroying everybody in his path. Like I said, he came out after the victory for Sheamus and his team and just beat up on everybody. Choked slammed people left and right, leaving carnage in the ring. And then Triple H would come out saying, Kane, you are going to be the 8th man. But as Kane did his big explosion, there was another explosion. An explosion of a spear by Roman Reigns on Kane, with Roman Reigns being the last one standing with everybody laying off across the floor. And that could be the sight come Sunday with Roman Reigns standing tall at top of a ladder, holding the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I'd love to see Roman as champion, but I'm hearing rumors they're going to put the belt again on Cena. I hope not. Like, Cena's like the logical safe choice, the pussy choice, but I just don't want WWE to put the belt on Cena again. Like I said earlier, no matter who wins, they're going to hold the button. They're going to be labeled. Whoever wins is going to be labeled by many a paper champion. Because like I said, the only reason they're going to be champion is because D-By's out. So, but I wish Roman Reigns would win. Or Cesaro even. But Cesaro's not on the way to being as big as he should be. He needs to get rid of Heyman first. Or at least tell Heyman, shut about Lesnar already. Promote me, not Brock Lesnar. He's not even in the fucking company right now. So, there, but like I said, Roman Reigns is getting a push. I saw the seeds planted for the possible big star turn at Survivor Series. And then it's coming up probably at the Rumble. But momentum shifted for him because the Shield didn't break up quickly. And I said it last week and I'll say it again. Everybody in the Shield is benefiting from this breakup. Everyone's going to be a breakout star in the solo. I think Ambrose has gotten better since the Shield broken up. Same with Rollins and Reigns for that matter. I think all three are benefiting from finally breaking off in the individual solo careers. And Roman Reigns is kind of the guy that kind of keeps the spirit of the Shield alive by still coming through the crowd and using a kind of a remix of the old Shield theme song. Seth and Rollins have some great new theme songs. But at least Roman Reigns is keeping that spirit of the Shield alive. But like I said, the old entrance music and the old entrance period to the crowd. So, there you go. We'll see who does walk out as champion. But like I said, now that we have the contract match now, that could be a screwy situation. Because like I said, the contract winner could cash in literally that night on the new champion. So we may have 2 new champions in one night, possibly. That may happen. And speaking of that, now that we got 8 men in the ladder match for the title now, are they going to make it even and put an 8th man in the contract match now? Maybe we'll see Sunday. Or they add it on main event or SmackDown. But they should make it even. They should make the contract match even with the title match. Make that an 8-man too. Now that the ladder match for the title is now an 8-man with Kane being in it. And that is it for my Raw review for this evening. Thank you all very much for watching. With that in mind, y'all have been attacked by the review from Zach. Once again, thanks for watching. See you later, yeah. Or should I say, ooh, yeah. Dig it, yeah.